Go! What's going on in Hot Atlanta? Live from Swanky 93.3 and the Heat 94.6 brings back the hottest hip-hop radio show live from K.L.P. Entertainment and K.L.P. Studios. It's K.L.P. Aftermath with your host, K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas.
You know what it is? Put your hands up.
Tune in now on any audio platform.
Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Yeah. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another exciting podcast here today. This is the KLP Aftermath Podcast. Yeah. Yes.
You're tuned into the Swanky One, new K.L.P.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast here today. We hope that you guys, first and foremost, we hope that everybody's having a fantastic Thursday night here. Let me tell y'all everything that's been going around. But first, I'm your gracious, your highly favored, your humble podcast host, K.L.P. Kennedy Lucas here. Thank you guys for staying tuned for this show. A lot of things are moving around when it comes down to K.L.P. Entertainment, and we are so blessed to have it. Now, if you guys know, you know. If you, hopefully you didn't miss it from yesterday's episode of What Had Happened Was. That show was a banger. Of course, me and my girl Evelyn and Letitia came back to the studio to give you guys another exciting podcast episode. So we do hope that you guys, number one, watched the episode, and number two, enjoyed the episode, because that was a juicy podcast we did. So it felt very, very good. You guys can listen to it on any audio platforms you get your podcast from. And if you're watching us on Facebook Watch, Spotify for video, or YouTube, we thank y'all so very much. Now, today, I am so happy to announce again. If you know, you know, because we announced it on social media. Yes, we have built something very, very new and special for our fan base, and I'm excited to announce again on the show. It's already out, but KLP Entertainment Radio Station Hub. I am blessed and highly favored on that project. So, for a lot of people who don't know what that is, KLP Entertainment Radio Station Hub is the official rebranded radio station that's live and on the internet. You guys can type it in. It's klpentertainment.ismyradio.com. Again, that's klpentertainment.ismyradio.com. It is our full-fledged official live stream radio station to where we play music. Sometimes we come on air on that platform. And also, I am very, very excited that all of our shows, down to KLP Aftermath, down to Bro Code Podcast, down to TLT, down to What Happened Was with me and Evelyn, will be on the official radio station. Again, once you go on the site, when it has the show that we program for, playing music on the radio station, you hit the play button, you get to listen to the tunes. Also, you got to go to the tab where it says news. Of course, news is our new thing that we're going to be posting articles, written articles from the Lucas Tribune, and also all of our shows will be premiered there too. So that way, if somehow you're not able to go to YouTube, or YouTube is acting funny on you, you can go to our official full internet radio. So that way you guys can click that and be humble with it and be able to watch what we got going on. And I'm very, very excited for so I'm very, very excited for that as well. That's just going to be very, very exciting when it comes down to it. Again, we launched it a couple of months back, but then we had to rebrand it a little bit. And now that we're able just to have some more content on there, to really revamp everything and just have both our sub radio stations of the Heat 94.6 and Swanky 93.3 content on there as well. So excited for that whole thing there. Again, it's on our link description in below in our link description, and also it is available if you're on our Instagram. It's on everybody's Instagram bio. Lucas Tribune, KLP Entertainment, Swanky, The Heat, my personal. It's on there as well. You guys can tune in for that as well. That is a new thing that we're happy to relaunch, I would say, and just to kind of get more content out there for our fan base. We really just enjoy everything that you guys that people that our producers put together, and we really enjoy our fan base, really enjoy everybody that like our content, and we keep doing this thing. We continue to grow and to be good at this thing. So again, check it out. Again, it is the official K.L.P Entertainment radio station hub, a hub space where you can get all of our content, radio, podcasts, and so much more on that as well. So shout out to them as well. And also, little quick announcements before we get to the review. Of course, obviously, by the hints of the title, yes, I'm going to do a review on Donkey Kong Bonanza coming up momentarily, but I got to do a little bit more of K.L.P Entertainment cleaning news real quick. Guys, if you know, you follow me on social media. We will be heading back up north to Chicago, of course. I'm very happy about that. We'll be leaving on Saturday. DJ Kennedy Lucas, that's me, if you don't know. We are coming back with my DJing stuff. Of course, we've got the pre-show Saturday night, and then we have the full show on Sunday. And then on Monday, we have a live show with myself included on Monday as well. So we do hope that everybody get ready, because we've been to Chicago before. Of course, me and Monica, we did Spectrum Podcast in Chicago. We did a DJ set in Chicago. If you know, we've done all of those things last December. So we'll be back this July, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Again, that Saturday will be the pre-show for the DJ, my DJ set pre-show one night with DJ K.L.P. Then we have a full show on Sunday, and then we have a live show on Monday. And then Tuesday, we've got a little bit of other business ventures up in Chicago. And then, of course, we return on Wednesday. And I say that to say, hopefully you guys tune in, because Mixcloud is one of our big partners there, Mixcloud.com. You can go to Mixcloud.com/DJ Kennedy Lucas. So that way you guys can see the current episodes we got up, the current sets that we did. And of course, those sets will be on there as well. And I believe we're going to host a video version of our DJ show set on our radio station hub. Again, that was K.L.P Entertainment Radio Station Hub, online radio that I just mentioned. So much content, right? There's just so much content that we've got going on when it comes down to us coming up for the weekend. Now, while I say that, I am saying that, of course, Saturday, Sunday, typically we don't really work on K.L.P Entertainment stuff for Saturday and Sunday, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, again, K.L.P Entertainment offices will be closed. We are closing the office and podcasting and shows and talk shows for those 3 days, because we will not be here in Atlanta. We're going to be in Chicago. So we can only bring so much equipment up there. So very, very excited for a lot of things to come aboard, and it's just going to be very, very, very exciting. Again, I'll say it again one more time, T, because we got to sell these tickets. We got to sell the listings. We got to sell the plays here. My DJ set, DJ Kennedy Lucas, one night with DJ Kennedy Lucas. Pre-show Saturday. You don't want to miss it. Full show Sunday, and a live talk show on Monday. Okay. Now that I got all that out the way, now we get to the fun stuff. My first review, game review, of course, I would be a fool not to review this thing. As of today, I was able to, let me backtrack. Let me back up a little bit. Last night, I was in the house. I was in my house. I was wrapping some things up for the night. I finished watching, I'm watching Grey's Anatomy. Really, that's the show that I'm watching currently, because I just got hooked on it again. And I knew launch day of Donkey Kong Bonanza was going to be happening. And I knew that this game was going to be available midnight last night. Obviously, midnight on the 17th. That is today's date. That is when the game is released and launched. I'm very, very excited to do a review on Donkey Kong Bonanza. Now, I gave an air horn and an applause for Donkey Kong Bonanza, because first, the scores are in. Now, typically with Metacritic and IGN, I like their channel. I try to stay skeptical about their channels, because there is a thing. I'm not accusing IGN and Metacritic getting paid to give good reviews. That's not what I'm saying. It's just sometimes these critic review companies, they sometimes can get paid to give somebody a good review to make the game look good. Obviously, we're in the drought. We're in the economic drought. You know, companies will pay millions, thousands upon millions to these review companies to say, hey, I'll slide you 10 grand if you give us a good review. It is good for the company. There's some funding and some capital for the company. Not accusing IGN and Metacritic to do these things because they probably did not, right? But you just got to be kind of skeptical when it comes down to these reviews. But I am very excited that Donkey Kong Bonanza T from IGN, they got a 10 out of 10. Metacritic gave this game a 90 percentile. Now, if you've been living under a rock, you may not know of this game, but Donkey Kong Bonanza is a celebrated as its remarkable 3D platformer featuring a satisfying movement and power abilities. This game enhances the player's experience with impressive destructive environments, and you get to play none other than Donkey Kong himself. Again, he's going through, and then spoiler alert, I mean, we already know what the story is about. Of course, Donkey Kong somehow has a full-time job as a miner. He's mining on the caves and he's digging for gold, but he comes across a phenomenon of odd rock. Obviously, odd rock and Donkey Kong go through the levels, they go through the layers and find one of the elder apes there, and he's a DJ too. So that's what, like, really one of my favorite side characters because he's a DJ. The old gorilla ancient with the bananas around him. And he's able to break Odd Rock, and obviously that is Pauline that was trapped into the Odd Rock form. I am very, very excited for this game because this is from the partnership and the makers of Super Mario Odyssey. That was a great game that came out in 2017, and we don't know if they've been working on this game for 8 years. If you worked in this game for 8 years, God bless your soul. I don't think that's true. I think they really started on this game in 2022. I think. And then this is a 3D type platformer game that you get to play as Donkey Kong, and you're going through the different layers just to kind of repair Ingot Isle and to turn everything back to normal, while Pauline, young Pauline, she wants to return home, and Donkey Kong just wants to eat and collect all the bananas. Now, they say that this is a prequel to Super Mario Odyssey. I do believe that simply because we do have a younger version of Pauline in this game, T. And in Super Mario Odyssey, we had a full-fledged adult Pauline as mayor of New Donk City. And there's a city named after Donkey Kong, right? So I do believe that it's a prelogue from the Super Mario Odyssey game itself. Let me tell you, and this is just my first impressions. This game is really, really fun. That's my first take, right? It's really, really fun just to see that you get to transform into what people are saying, like your Super Saiyan version of Donkey Kong, right? If you collect enough of the banana chips and the gold mine chips, then you're transforming into a stronger gorilla, a stronger character for Donkey Kong, whether it's gorilla mode, ape mode, down to ostrich, down to zebra mode. Now, I will say I didn't get super far like most people have already. The game just came out today, right? And I played for the first couple of hours at midnight, then I went to bed, and then I woke up, played a little bit more, and then had things to do. Obviously, as a podcaster and a businessman, I am an adult, so I can't sit around and play video games all day because I don't get paid to play video games all day. I get paid to do other things. So I was very thoroughly impressed with the mechanics of it. I did notice the frame drops. I don't think it was that noticeable, T. When I tell you a frame that I saw that might have dropped is when I'm getting a piece of the environment, a piece of rock, and I'm using Donkey Kong. He's slinging the rock around with all the enemies. It does kind of drop the frame for half a second. I don't think that was a big deal breaker in my opinion because it is a high anticipated game. There's a lot going on in this game, right? So with the frame drops, I don't think it was really that noticeable. I honestly do think Nintendo will do a patch up for that coming later, right? But it is not a deal breaker for Donkey Kong Bonanza. I do like it that you could literally destroy everything. And when I first played this game, the first mission, I was destroying everything because I wanted to see it, right? You get to find gold everywhere. Gold is in the ground everywhere. So I'm destroying everything in my path. Obviously, though, I didn't make that the main focus because I do feel that if you're able to destroy everything that's in your area, that's fun. But sometimes it can be kind of repetitive at some points. So I had to make sure that I would destroy a little bit and then, okay, I want to go and do my objective now. Right? That's kind of what I was feeling with it. Some people might spend 5 hours just destroying a level, right? If you can, it's your if that's your prerogative, then you could do that. I destroyed a great bit, but then I wanted to continue on the story and continue on the objective there. So I really do love that. I love the customizations that you get to do, the different skins for Donkey Kong, the different outfits for Donkey Kong and Pauline as well. They do have a 2-player mode. Again, this is going to be kind of a solo thing for me, right? I don't see me and my brother playing this game, them being Pauline and just hitting the button while I move around. I think this will be a solo dolo for me. But the concept of it is there for, and I guess it's there for a lot of gamers and players who have young kids that are starting to get introduced with video games. So sure, I do love it. I do love it. And it says here from Nintendo Life just now that they do have a 1.1 version update that is live now. So it could be where they're patching up those frame drops and fixing some things up on it. I probably haven't seen those versions again. The game just came out last night, so I wasn't able to play too much into it. And probably when I boot it up later when I get home, it's probably going to say, hey, it's time for it to be updated, right? So I don't think that's a deal breaker for anybody when it comes down to those frame drops for sure. This game is, again, this game has just a total high praise, and I'm glad that this game is a success. I think it is a success. When you look at me as a gamer, and a player, I like my 3D platformers. I think I like platforming the most out of my video games. I think it's platforming first, and then it's shooters second, and then third is sports, and then the fourth is horror, depending on the horror. Even I'll put VR in that list too. When that new Deadpool VR game comes out, I'm so getting that for my MetaQuest 3 S. But nonetheless, I'm glad that this game was just praised and it was highly rated. It was really, really, really dope to see that everybody's playing this game. I feel jealous of the big YouTube stars because the big YouTube stars got to play a few hours early. When it comes to YouTube, I'm your average YouTuber. I think I'm highly praised or highly up there when it comes down to audio, like iHeart, because there's our partners in Spotify. But when it comes down to YouTube, we're not in that algorithm, so we're not able to play that game 10 hours before it comes out. But I saw a lot of big YouTube stars, I would say, play this game early, and they enjoyed it. This game is truly remarkable. I really love the 3D aspect of it. I love Donkey Kong's face expressions. His face expressions is funny as hell. Very, very funny. And just to see like the character development with Donkey Kong, Pauline, and all the other characters, really, really dope to see. And what's interesting about this game too, I think this is kind of lining up the formula with Donkey Kong too, because we do know that Universal has signed a patent for a Donkey Kong solo movie. So that would be really cool. Maybe we see Donkey Kong and the Kong family interact with Pauline, right? Pauline sings, right, in this game. She sings in this game and she sings in Odyssey. So it would be dope to have Pauline sing in the movie, right? Because that's just what's going to sell the movie is a great musical. I love my musicals. I love Sing 1 and Sing 2. I love those movies. So I do see this the movie going far when it gets developed at some point in the future. I do love the aspects of this concept of Donkey Kong. This may not be the only Donkey Kong game. We probably won't see it until 2030, right? Donkey Kong Bonanza 2, right? We might see more expanded on this story of the mechanics, right? Nintendo has something. And quite honestly, I'm really glad that we've got something else on Switch 2. I love my Switch 2. I love Mario Kart Worlds, but there's just so much you can do in Mario Kart World. I saw this meme, if you guys know, from Toy Story, where Andy was holding Woody, and then the line is, "Oh, you're broken. I don't think I want to play with you anymore." That was the meme where Andy, in the meme, they threw away Mario Kart World, and then he was holding Donkey Kong Bonanza, right? That's what everybody's playing right now, because it gives us more, right? You know, I truly think Donkey Kong Bonanza will hold us for the next few months. Mario Kart World did its thing, it showcased the Switch 2, and it was dope. A lot of people don't understand the $80 price tag on it, but now that we have Donkey Kong Bonanza, this kind of gives people something else to play. Again, I won't say I was getting bored of my Switch 2 because I love my Switch 2, but I was just fiending for something new. Like, okay, Mario Kart World, good to play with the family. Okay, I'm bored of it, right? I want something new. Now that we have Donkey Kong Bonanza, that's going to occupy more of my time now. And when it comes down to the game being a great success, great reviews is really, 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 really dope to see. It's going to hold us over until Metroid, right? We got Pokemon in maybe October, November, maybe. I'm just speculating, guys. And then we have Prime 4, right? That's going to be my next purchase is Metroid Prime 4, right? Beyond, right? That game's going to be dope. First person shooter. Oh yeah, I'm so there. Good game all around. My first reaction is really dope today too, T, because I went to Best Buy because I had to make a return for some equipment that we purchased, but it didn't work out. So we had to go there and we had to go to our local Best Buy to return some equipment. And there was a big box of Donkey Kong Bonanza physical copies in those big boxes. And while I was in line, 3 people were buying their copies or picking up their copies of Donkey Kong Bonanza within their pre-order. So it was really cool. Everybody was excited at Best Buy. And I just love to see gamers and players get so excited when a new game is out. And then I'm like, yeah, I got that too. But I got the digital, but it's really dope. It's really, really dope. It is at the price range of $70, so it's a premium price. I gotta say, this one's kind of worth it, right? It gives you something else to play on your Switch too, and it's a great success, right? It's really, really dope success. Like I say, really, really dope. Donkey Kong Bonanza, you got us something to play. I love it. I'm here for it. All right, so we're moving on to our sports part of the show. Typically, we talk full sports on Bro Code Podcast. By the way, go check out. I want to say it was Monday's episode. I'm had to make sure to keep track. Me, T, and Jackson, we were in the studio and we gave you guys the latest in sports news. Obviously, I talked about WWE Evolution. We won't rehash that. You guys got to go listen to that podcast if you want my full reactions of WWE Evolution at State Farm. I was in the building watching the pay-per-view live, so it was really, really dope. But I wanted to play a little excerpt from Busted Open Podcast. Now, again, we don't own their content. We can only play a little bit of it, so let's get to it. And I'll do my reaction.
Get the doctor. Time stops.
You're tuned into the Swanky One, New K.L.P.
And then, like a trooper, Seth
There's
Rollins,
Tommy Dreamer, everybody, if you guys don't know.
Gets up,
Busted Open,
takes
Dave
the finish.
LaGrecha.
Let's switch the finish, because right then and there, if Seth is going over, you have decision makers instantly. What do we do?
And I'm going to get into my Raw review, but this kind of ties into
What do we do? Blah, blah, blah. These are things that have to be made.
You're tuned into the Swanky One, New K.L.P.
Triple H. And he makes a decision. LA Knight takes it. If the doctor would have said, hey, you can't take the finish ain't
So
happening.
Let me screw up through, because he's talking about LA Knight and Seth Rollins match. I talked about that already. As these advertisements come in, we're streaming, we're trying to play it through YouTube, and I hate YouTube ads, y'all, I tell you.
Wrestlers that have, you have your man, like, I wasn't done right. They're going to get me back somehow, some way. Listen,
you're tuned into the Swanky One, New K.L.P.
You can't be that way because it's different management, unless you had issue with Triple H.
Shout out
But
Triple
I don't
H.
think, because they want the best. They want people to hear that, because his promo was good. His retirement speech was very, very good.
Yeah, it was. We're
And
talking about Goldberg. We'll get into it.
You want that on television. You want that final moment for emotional going off the air. But it didn't happen because I feel of all the other circumstances.
Yeah, but even the way that it
fell
through, and even the way that it happened and it played out, Goldberg had his retirement match.
You're tuned into the Swanky One, New K.L.P.
The best case scenario, the best location.
And sorry, I have to keep playing my tags because we don't own their content. So,
and you know what? Probably a bigger audience watching Saturday night's main event than it would be for a PLE. Because this is like that's as big of a stage as you can. And then the biggest thing, Tommy, is like, all right, he's giving his retirement speech. You could actually see Michael Cole. You could see in his face, Michael Cole had this like anxiety-ridden face because he knows the clock is ticking, and this is network TV. They're going off at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Bam. There is no bleeding over. This isn't Raw on Netflix.
True.
Or like this is like at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Bam. They are
You're
off the
tuned
air.
into the
I
Swanky
thought it was
One,
the best
New
case scenario
K.L.P.
for Goldberg because he had the match, and then they got like 30 seconds of his retirement speech. Would you have liked to have more? Yeah, but then that would have what's more important? More of a retirement speech or more of a world championship match when you're in the main event and you're like, I feel like if that match
probably
was shorter, then
wanna
Goldberg
see
would
more.
be bitching about,
We'll get
hey
to it.
man, it's my retirement match. It's the main event on Saturday Night's main event. I only get 10 minutes. And then but they gave him a great 14-minute match, which was his longest match in over 20 years. Over 20 years. He's never had a match that long. It was 14 minutes long. And then
You're
they got
tuned
like
into the
30
Swanky
seconds
One,
of his
New
retirement.
K.L.P.
Tommy, they didn't even need to do that. They didn't even need to give him any of that retirement speech. They could have ended the show and said goodbye and never had to worry about being frantic. But they want to at least give him some time in the ring with his friends and families to say goodbye. Man,
All right.
You're tuned into the Swanky One.
So there's a
New
reason why I
K.L.P.
played that one.
Some of y'all might know this, and some of y'all don't.
There's a reason.
Do it.
It is now time for the elephant in the room. K.L.P. Who's the biggest elephant today?
All right, so the biggest elephant of the room for the podcast, K.L.P. Aftermath podcast. We played the little excerpt from Busted Open Podcast. Shout out to them and Dave LaGrecha. They do amazing, amazing work. But the elephant of the room goes out to Bill Goldberg. I hate to say that because I'm a fan. Now, I have to say that Bill Goldberg is the elephant of the room because he went on Ariel Hawani's show and he expressed him being mad and pissed off of how he ended his retirement match. Obviously, this past weekend, WWE was in Atlanta, State Farm Arena. I was there for Evolution. Great pay-per-view. I can't say it enough. Evolution was great. Saturday night's main event was the main event of that match was Goldberg and Gunther. And obviously, if you guys want to know my initial thoughts, go to the Bro Code podcast episode. But I agree, and we played an excerpt from Busted Open Podcast. I agree with Dave LaGrecha. I really do. Because it wasn't personal that, and I saw it on Twitter too, that they cut his speech short on TV, right? I agree. When you're not on Netflix with Raw, you're on NBC, they've got a time slot set. And I think a lot of superstars have to understand, even our veterans and even our Hall of Famers, they have to understand that if any network that's able to, that gives you a time slot, that's it. You can't go over because I've worked in TV, not as much. I worked with ESPN, right? And with the institution, Georgia State. And I learned some things from them too. Like you can't go over a certain time slot because you will get fined for it, right? These networks like NBC, ESPN, or any type of network that you've got where they have a time slot for you and you go bleed over that time slot, they will bill you for it. Some bigger networks will bill you $50,000, maybe $50,000 for WWE as a fine. Smaller networks will probably bill you $10,000 if you're going over, depending on how big the network is, right? But when you go over like that, yes, you will get fined. It's a lot of money that companies don't want to speak out and spill out if you are over that time slot, right? Now, that's why Goldberg's speech was cut short on TV, and Dave LaGrecha said, and Tommy Dreamer said it too, that, yeah, it cuts it off on TV, but we're in this generation now that when you get that full thing and post it on TikTok, Twitter, social media, Instagram, you get millions of followers there too. WWE has millions upon millions of followers from TikTok down to Twitter, down to Instagram, right? So you get a full reach more on social media than you might would on national, I would say national TV, not cable, but national networks of NBC, even though NBC does have millions of followers too. But you get a better impact on social media because more people are tuned in and chimed in, right? So on the Busted Open podcast, Dave LaGrecha and Tommy Dreamer says that, hey, most guys in their retirement match didn't get a speech, right? Undertaker didn't get a speech. Triple H, even though Triple H, he did his speech kind of cool. He came, it was WrestleMania 30, um, um, 38, I want to say it was, where he came out and, you know, he was going to give a speech. He just left his shoes and says, thank you. That was very epic. That just told the whole story there. So it depends on how you want to do your final retirement match speech. But a lot of superstars don't get their final speech, right? I got to say that, let me tell you, I'm a fan of Bill Goldberg because number one, he's from Atlanta, right? I got to rep any superstar, any wrestler that represents Atlanta. I have to because I love Atlanta. But you got to understand this concept that, you know, we're giving you a shot for a big match, a big draw, a big thing on NBC, and you're probably getting a big fat paycheck, right? So I gotta say, I gotta represent WWE in this aspect. Is one of those things you gotta just be happy that you're there, right? Because I've seen it. Again, I'm not a super expert with WWE. I'm not an analyst for them. I don't know their ins and outs of their business, right? I wish I was. But a lot of these superstars, they're happy. Well, not current superstars, no. Veteran superstars, Hall of Famers that's still kicking around and giving them a final match, a final push to TV. A lot of people are happy to be there. I saw in Evolution, I'm not saying Stephanie McMahon and all the current female superstars. That's not because that's their job, right? I'm saying we saw Vicky Guerrero, we saw Sandra Blaze, we saw Melina, right? Hey, there's TV time. We happy to be there. Mark Henry made his own shine on TV. People are just happy to be there because it's good for promotion. It's good for social media. It's good for the outlook of the show. Hey, I'm on NBC. Check me out. So I kind of agree with Dave LaGrecha when he said that he's finished with Goldberg. It's kind of like being ungrateful. I kind of see Dave LaGrecha's point, T, because you got to be happy to be there. Let me tell you, if I had a shot, and I ain't begging, but if I had a shot, because I applied for WWE, I have, for road production, videography, I tried. If I had a shot to work on this mega billion-dollar media company of WWE, yeah, I would want to do that to get paid because it's a job, but I'll be happy to be there to represent the brand, right? Because I'm happy to be there. And that's one thing I just wish Goldberg was there. Hey, I'm happy to be there. They gave me a shot to where all my friends and family members can come in the ring, spotlight in front of thousands of people, cameras are rolling, good for social media, giving my retirement speech. Right? Now, granted, some of the moves that Goldberg did was a little off. Most of his moves were good, but I noticed as a wrestling fan, I noticed some stuff. You're getting old. So you got to anticipate that some things you used to do, you can't do no more. So you can only do the very, very, very best you can. Dave LaGrecha and Tommy Dreamer, they say it's nothing personal. It's TV, right? I believe it when Dave LaGrecha just said that you can tell Michael Cole looks sweaty. And I've seen Michael Cole in person. It's really cool to hear his voice like in person. I wish I could meet him personally, but because I'm trying to, Michael Cole is Michael Cole. But to see Michael Cole, Wade Barrett, Corey Graves say, hey, we got to get off the air. It's TV. I'm sure NBC would find WWE money if they went over. It's nothing personal. It's no hatred. I do say that, yeah, I'm kind of tired of Goldberg. If this is your retirement match, you're done. I wouldn't want to hear that, hey, I'm my retirement match, but I'm coming right back. I wouldn't want to hear it. I would want to say, okay, it's time for you to call it quits. You're done. Leave it alone. You're tired. You're retired. Leave it alone. This is what I want to say. It's what I want to say for Goldberg when it comes down to it. I just think, honestly, he has to be grateful that he is there to get one final little push in for his career as a wrestler. And I'm not downgrading him as a wrestler. He's a fantastic wrestler, a fantastic superstar. He can sell really, really well. And he's from Atlanta, right? We're here in Atlanta native. But I honestly got to say, you just got to be grateful that you pulled in a match. your retirement, you're good for social media, you're on national NBC, and you get a big paycheck. You probably got $1 million paycheck, right? And some fans are tired of Goldberg, T. Because we were thinking about buying tickets for Saturday night's main event. Big Brother said, hey, I don't want to pay because I ain't nobody trying to see Goldberg. So again, shout out to the Busted Open podcast. I listen to them religiously to get their intakes for it when it comes down to it. It's very, very exciting to see podcasters that go in for it. But I just want people to understand, veterans, Hall of Famers, when you have a time to shine, just be grateful that you're there. Be grateful that you're doing your thing. Be grateful that you're able to compete and perform and to do the very best you can, right? So real quick, let me talk about it real quick. We saw Monday night's Raw on Netflix. That's a show you can go over because they're real quick, let me talk about it because we have 3 more topics on today's show. But Monday night was we watched Raw. Number 1 contender gauntlet match: Jey Usos versus CM Punk versus Penta versus LA Knight versus Braun Breaker. Then we had Nikki Bella versus Chelsea Green. And then we saw a Naomi promo, a Gunther promo. And I think that was pretty much majority of Monday Night Raw. So kind of a short night when it comes down to them. They were in Birmingham, Alabama, coming straight from Atlanta, of course. Naomi kicks off Raw. Obviously, we saw that she won the Evolution match here. Let's see if we can play a little.
You might have got your lick back at Evolution, but I made history, baby.
You're tuned into the swanky one, new K.L.P.
And I might be new around here at Raw again,
Hey.
but all you raggedy heifers back there.
I like what she said,
locker
raggedy
room,
heifers. That shit was so funny. That was so funny, T.
I strongly advise you to proceed
With.
You're tuned into the swanky one, new K.L.P.
Y'all heifers out there. And we had Rhea Ripley. She comes out. She comes out and does her thing. She's pissed, right? Because it was Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. And of course, Naomi cashes in Evolution Sunday. We were there in the building. We were live. It was really, really cool. So that promo was cut really, really good. Now we're going to see Bleacher Report gives it an A. Here's the top moments. Naomi has involved as in-ring presence and feels so comfortable at this point. She has. I agree with Bleacher Report. Naomi has become very, very comfortable in cutting her promos and cutting her segments. Really, really dope. I like the villain in her. I like the crazy laugh, crazy ass laugh that she does. It's really, really dope to see Naomi in this new character. Bunk all the glow stuff. I'm tired. The glow stuff, don't remind us of the past. Remind us of who you are now as a superstar. Cashing in, and now you are the women's champion. I do hope that she holds onto the belt a little longer, right? We got 3 weeks until August at SummerSlam. The reason why that being is because Adam Pearce has made that official that we're going to see Naomi versus Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match at SummerSlam 2-night event, August 2nd and 3rd. So they gave their segment a grade A. We did see the Kabuki Warriors versus the Judgment Day for the, I believe it was for the belts. Good match. I love to see Asuka and Kairi Sane doing their thing. I think they have upgraded their move set. They can sell their moves really, really well. But you got to know that the Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, again, I saw all 4 of these ladies in person at Evolution. Just to see them doing their thing really, really gets me excited. Roxanne Perez and Raquel, they're doing something that's very, very spectacular as a women's tag team that I was hoping to see, and we're seeing it, right? We're seeing them dominate themselves in the ring. I do like the concept of the Kabuki Warriors. I do like that, you have women first of all from Japan, so they got to be dope. And they're doing their moveset really, really well, and they're selling it, and they're really giving us a good quality match. Very, very dope when it comes down to it. Of course, Bleacher Report gives this thing a C+. After the succession of Evolution, the last thing we needed here was excessive interference with Mysterio. We did see a lot of that on Monday Night Raw. Perez and Rodriguez had solid chemistry as a team, and it will be interesting to see them build on it as their regime continues. I can't wait to see that happen when it comes down to them being the greatest tag team of both of them. I think I think I like them more than I would Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Honestly, I like to see Roxanne. First of all, Roxanne coming from NXT, right? Training with Booker T. She's out there doing her moveset. She's doing something very, very spectacular. She is shining on stage, on in the ring, in front of the camera. She's able to shine and sell her story, sell her promo really, really good to an audience. So I can't wait to see what future comes down to that. We did have a 2 out of 3 falls match with Bailey and Lara Valkyria. I think I'm kind of getting kind of tired of this angle. Honestly, I saw this thing coming. I really did. I really saw this thing coming when it comes down to Lara Valkyria and Becky Lynch. Now they're going to be those two facing off at SummerSlam. I'm a huge Lara Valkyria fan because I think, again, she's one of the new superstars that are in the roster now. She's trying to grow into something spectacular. I'm just kind of tired of that angle with those three ladies. They're talented superstars, but I want to see more people try to go for the Intercontinental Championship is what I want to see. Because their story, I feel like their story's been going on for a very, very long time, since WrestleMania, right? So how long do we got to watch Lara and Becky and Bailey go at it, right? Good to see them live and in person. They gave us, though, I will say this. It was a triple threat match, Lara, Becky, and Bailey at Evolution in Atlanta. We saw it live. Great match. Great matchup to open the show. It was a kick-ass match. But I'm ready for somebody else to come into the fray, I guess. I do want to see somebody else new into that fray. And then you had Nikki Bella versus Chelsea Green. Look. I like it. I like Chelsea Green's angle. I'm here for Nikki Bella's return. What do I want to say here? I want to see a little bit more from Chelsea Green. And I get it. It's a promo. It's a segment. They got to sell it. I get it. But I honestly do think Chelsea Green is really, really talented. So do I want to see Chelsea Green do more move sets? Yes, I do. Personally, I do. I get the Secret Hervis angle. I get it. I think I'm just ready for her to become a singles competitor, not have valet. Because that's what it, in WWE terms, again, as a wrestling fan, we know these things. That is what's called a valet, right? Piper Niven, and I forgot the other girl's name. Again, that was a they're the valet, and I get it. That's the angle. But I want to see Chelsea Green be in her own singles competitor, be by herself, to see where that can go. Is what I think I want to see. Nikki Bella, she looks good in the ring. She looks fit after having her son. She looks fit. She can still do it. Do I want to see Nikki Bella versus more of the hardcore wrestler superstars? Yes. Right, I do. I want to see Nikki Bella versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is a hardcore superstar. I don't think Nikki Bella is ready for Rhea Ripley quite just yet. Will she be ready? Sure, she could do it. She can really nail it off. That's what I want to see when it comes down to that. Of course, after that, the Secret Hervis attacks Nikki Bella, and of course, Stephanie Vakir comes out. Again, Stephanie Vakir is the winner of the Women's Battle Royal and Evolution. Bella does defeat Chelsea Green in a singles composition for that when it comes down to it. And then we had the Gunther promo. Again, I words cannot express how good the promo of Gunther comes out. Of course, he comes out, gloats about him beating Goldberg in Goldberg's retirement match at Saturday Night's Main Event. And of course, Braun Breaker comes out when it comes down, making his way to the ring to interrupt the championship. Of course, Paul Heyman said, hey, look, I don't want to hear what you have to say. Of course, Paul Heyman warned the ring general that his charge is going to be Braun Breaker is going to break your ass at SummerSlam. So we thought, right? So then it leads into the gauntlet match. Again, that gauntlet match was really, really good when it comes down to it. It's really, really good to see, I was rooting for LA Knight. I was. LA Knight gets eliminated. And Braun Breaker, let me tell you, I'm a big Braun Breaker fan too. I will say that because obviously Braun Breaker is also from Atlanta. So again, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, I got to rep the people that are from Atlanta. So Braun Breaker does eliminate LA Knight, does eliminate Jey Uso, of course. But when it comes down to it, of course, Breaker was eliminated by CM Punk when it comes down to it. I believe that Breaker eliminated Penta as well because Penta was in this match. And then we had CM Punk versus Braun Breaker towards the end of the match. Of course, there were some interruptions with Paul Heyman and JC Mateo. I'm sorry, excuse me. Bronson Reed. When it comes down to it, as that of that interruption there, of course. And CM Punk does defeat Braun Breaker, Jey Uso, LA Knight, and Penta. I did like how Jey Uso was able to cut his intro mid-match. That was pretty good, to say the least. It was really, really cool to see. Then, of course, it was an all-out mugging for on CM Punk from Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed and Paul Heyman being there. But, of course, we had the return of the one, the only, Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. Good to see Roman Reigns back into the limelight of things. It has been said that Roman Reigns will be in the attendance for Monday Night Raw leading up to SummerSlam. So I can't wait to see what he will be doing with Raw and him coming back. Of course, the Bleacher Report gives the full Raw show a grade A, so that's actually not bad. Shout out to Raw. We love to hear it. All right, so next, as we go on to these reviews here today, we've got to talk about it because why not? Real quick. Let's do this review. Movie review from Netflix. Can't wait to watch Double Toasted's video of this movie because they be roasting Tyler Perry tea. All right, so Tyler Perry got another one out. Tyler Perry, Medea's Destination Wedding. And of course, I watched it because I wanted to talk about it on the podcast. That's why not. Tyler Perry's Medea's Destination Wedding. I will give Tyler Perry credit because Tyler Perry's working. He had this movie in Straw that came out. He got a new show called Divorce Sisters that I do watch. It's not a bad show. You got a new season of Sisters that's out. You got this movie, Tyler Perry's Medea's Destination Wedding. Tyler Perry is booked and busy. He's cooking. So Rotten Tomatoes gives this movie a 15%. IMDb gives this movie a 5 out of 10. I don't really look at Netflix scoring that much because I think Netflix just pushes the movies out because it is produced by Netflix. So, of course, your movie's going to be number one from Netflix because they own the movie, right? Do I want my movies on Netflix too? Sure, yes, definitely. But I look at the other reviews too, right? Of course, Netflix is going to push your movie number one. Duh. But I ain't hating. I ain't hating. So it's good to see Diamond White back to acting. She plays Tiffany. She plays Brian Simmons, who is also played by Tyler Perry. That's his daughter. I'll give you the premise of this movie. Now, Madea. Okay, let me tell you. Let me give you a cliff notes here. So, Diamond White's character, Tiffany, is engaged with Xavier Smalls' character. Oh, well, that's the real name. His name is Xavier. Really cool. You just switch this X4Z. You're playing kind of yourself in your same name. So let me give you the characters. Tiffany and Xavier, they are engaged to be married. Tiffany is the daughter of Brian Simmons that is played by Tyler Perry. And Xavier is kind of like the young buck who would say, "What up, my N-word," to the adults. So, and they don't really like that. So Brian doesn't know what to do, what to think about this wedding. And for some reason, Madea has to be there because she wants to feel out Xavier and to make sure he's straight. But then there's some secrets that lie into that whole concept there of them two being married. Madea has rough feelings about them two being married, and Brian has rough feelings about those. So now they get to go to the Bahamas to watch this married thing unfold. And then you had Aunt Bam that's in this movie just for a side character. And you got Mr. Brown, and Cora is also in this movie. Cora has a great thing at heart with Xavier and Tiffany, which is nothing but the best of them. But and then here's the plot twist here. Taja V. Simmons, that's the actress. She plays Deborah. Deborah looked different in every Tyler Perry movie. Deborah looked so. Let me tell you, because look. I watched Tyler Perry, right? I do, because my mom and dad watched Tyler Perry when he first came out. Deborah was a light skinned young thing, and I could do what is that? I Could Do Bad All by Myself. I think that was the first full movie, right? Yeah, I think that's it. And Deborah was like Tyler Perry's first movie. Oh, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Deborah, we saw Deborah. She was a light skinned little thing. She was a coked up drug head that Brian was married to. And now she got dark for some reason. She got more chocolate. So I say to say Deborah's not playing the same. Deborah's character has been swapped by different people. So now Deborah is now engaged to her fiance. Rocky Myers plays the fiance or husband, rich husband of Deborah. And then they try to show Brian up because Brian is now the district attorney of Atlanta. Yeah. I try to explain it the best way I can, audience. That's pretty much the premise of the movie. Look. I root for Tyler Perry. Do I want to work for Tyler Perry? Yes. In his serious movies? Yes. I got a buddy, his name is Chris Ingram. Shout out to you if you're somehow watching the show. Chris Ingram, good friend of mine. He works for Tyler Perry Studio, so I get it. This is what I've been saying, that Tyler Perry has his good movies, like A Jazzman's Blues. Enjoyed that movie. Loved that movie. Straw was pretty good. And The 688. Those were Tyler Perry's hits. Good movies that he really sat down, thought about, articulated, and gave us some good movies of those three. Then you got the Atlanta movies, or the Madea movies that, okay. Cash grab, maybe. Let's just throw some shit out so that way it gives the fans something to watch. Tyler Perry does this thing every time when he posts a poster of his new Madea movie. Hey, we just need to laugh for a minute. Oh, okay. I just want to see a good-ass Madea movie. I do. Madea is a character. Medea's been doing this thing for years. Tyler Perry been doing this thing for years. And he got people to he got the ladies to say, get him Medea. He's the king of that. He know what he doing when it says to have all the ladies who watch Medea, do that. Tyler Perry is good at that. But boy, howdy, man, I just don't get this one. Obviously, yes, I watched it because I'm giving you a review on the podcast. It's my job. I don't know what it is. I think he got another Madea movie cooking up somewhere. I think he got it in his arsenal. And Netflix will say, hell yeah, we'll do this one. But do I think it's time to set Madea down? Yes. Because Tyler Perry, and I can't say he's my favorite director. He's on that list of creating, right? Because I can't say he's my number one favorite director. I can't say that, right? Because I follow so many other directors that give us some good quality movies, right? Not saying that Tyler Perry don't, because Tyler Perry is cooking and it's good. You know, if you're able to film it cheap and make a good profit from it, hey, he's a businessman. I completely understand. With some of my movies, sometimes we try to say, okay, can we make it a cheap way so that way we can return profit? I get it. It's business. But I think it's time to sit Madea down. I really do. I want to root for Madea. I think Tyler Perry gave us 20 years of Madea. I just kind of want Madea to be sat down for a second, because when Madea sits down, Tyler Perry, in my opinion, this is just solely my opinion, guys. Tyler Perry is able to give us a good quality movie, right? He's able to sit down, really work on his craft, and give us a damn good movie, right? I also think it's time to stop recycling the same actors and actresses, right? For an example, they had Ron Rico, I forgot his last name, but Ron Rico, he was in Duplicity. He's in Divorce Sisters. He did Medea Goes to Jail. He was in Survivor's Remorse. Good show. Good actor. But let's switch him around a little bit because Ron Rico's in everything of Tyler Perry. And I ain't hating on Ron Rico. He's making that money, right? But like shift some of these people around, right? Diamond White, good to see her back in the Medea world, right? I want to see more of her acting because she's very talented. Obviously, she was in the hit show Empire, right? So I want to see more of her. I just kind of want to see. I want to see Tyler Perry give us a bang up, good ass movie that we can say, "Damn, Tyler Perry did that," like he did 688. Good movie, right? I think the formula still works for Tyler Perry. This Medea thing, it works for Tyler Perry. Netflix picks it up. He's making some money from Netflix. I understand it. That's business. But that's why you get lower scores. And me being a harsh critic, because I don't work for Tyler Perry. I wish I did, but I can't say this was a great ass movie. Can't say that because this was just kind of, in my opinion, let's just make a little cash grab real quick. And some of the jokes were just very corny, in my opinion. Like, damn, okay. Mr. Brown shitting himself on the plane. Oh, how original. Come on, give us something new. Give us a joke that's really gonna make us laugh, right? It is cool, like the first opening, and then one thing, and I won't harp on Tyler Perry's movies that much, right? Because people roast my movies too. I got low scores on 2 of my movies too, so I can't say I'm the best director either. But Tyler Perry does this thing where all his Medea movies, it start off with a hot start. A lot going on in the first scene, and you're like, whoa, slow it down, Tyler. TPZ, slow it down for a minute. Let's figure out what's going on. There's so much going on. Somehow they were at the grocery store shopping, and they had to go to the gas station to get some gas. That scene I didn't really get. Just for Medea to blow up a car and burn people. We saw that on Twitter and Instagram, people who were actually there filming behind the scenes, and they were, so much going on when it comes down to that. And then it leads to Brian, Tyler Perry's other character, to have dinner with Deborah and BJ and Tiffany to meet Xavier, right? So it was just, let's just slop something together and call it funny, right? We need a funny, which I didn't think it was that the first scene was that funny, but let's try to make the audience say, oh, that damn Tyler Perry, he's burning people up, Medea. Okay. Slapping something together. That's why I get angry at TPZ. Not really, because I wish I could meet him, but like, I get mad at Tyler Perry because I know he's so talented to give us something else. Right? He's so talented as a director to really write something and to really give us a good ass movie. Right? And I get it. Maybe, hey, he will argue, hey, I gave y'all Straw. That's a good movie that came out last month. I gave y'all Straw. What more y'all want? Like I say, watch it if you want to. I would say if you want to watch a Tyler Perry movie right now, go see Straw. Could you skip this one? You probably could. I do like Straw. Divorce Sisters is actually not bad, even though that one scene where you could hear Tyler Perry saying, and action. That sound guy needs to be fired. How in the hell that you streaming the show on BET Plus and you can hear Tyler Perry in that one scene in episode 6, all right, speed rolling and action on the actual episode. Like, how does that happen? Do y'all not watch these shows in full review before you just throw it to BET? And I'm surprised BET didn't catch it. Tyler Perry, if I worked for you, I would make sure that none of this will happen. But I don't. I'm just a podcaster. So there it is. Medea's Destination Wedding. Like I say, watch it if you want to. If you If you want to, please watch it. It's actually, hey, So before we wrap the show here today, I have a video from WorldStar that I thought this would be a very good, interesting story to end the podcast out on our top story.
Some of y'all might know this, and some of y'all don't.
Let's do it.
K.L.P. has all
love that
the
song, too.
topics, stories, and gossip. It is now time for our top story from K.L.P.
Hey. So here's the top story to end the podcast out here today. 60-year-old man with 10 kids. Woo, Lord T. 10 kids says being a provider gets you nothing but insults, ridicule, and abandonment. Tells young men to save themselves. And you guys know I like to talk about the juicy conversations towards the end of the podcast because I'm a podcaster. So we got a video here. Let's try to see if we can play it real quick as these advertisement comes in. Let me tell you, advertisements. Shout out to advertisement. They trying to pay that bill. That's what's funny about it. So let's do it.
So I see these clips of all these women talking about where have the providers and protectors gone.
Oh, shit.
Let a 60-year-old man tell you young men out there
Oh, shit.
from experience. 3 different marriages,
Woo, Lord.
10 different kids,
Woo, Lord.
7 of them step.
Woo, no.
You get nothing out of being a provider or a protector.
And that's me because I'm insulting him right now.
Nothing. Insults,
I feel bad for this.
ridicule, abandonment. That's all that awaits you.
You're tuned into the Swanky
People
One.
won't even
New
remember
K.L.P.
all the sacrifices that you made, financially, physically, or in
Financially,
any
for
way.
sure.
They won't even care. So, young man, save yourself. Focus on yourself.
Yes.
Put your money in your pocket.
Yes.
Worry about your own
You're tuned into the
survival
Swanky One. New
because nobody
K.L.P.
else will.
Okay.
Today,
So
I will show you a
I wanted to end the podcast, and like I say, I like to be controversial at certain topics, right? Because I know it helps sell the show. When I talk about money advice, the last few episodes, few podcasts, people loved it. And what I'm about to say, I hope I don't offend my men and my women out here in this world. And this is the part where I want to talk to you guys personally. I want to give you guys my opinions and my feelings for this man. And I'm afraid I've just insulted him as I'm making my little corny jokes and my little side remarks and comments, right? I do that because I'm a podcaster, kind of have to, right? I can't help it. But here's the thing. There's quite a few points, T, that I want to make on this podcast. And I will say this from my experience and from what I feel, right? And what I might say, it might piss some of you guys off. I'm sorry in advance. It might piss some of my men off. This might piss some of my ladies off. This might even piss my parents off. Parents, I'm sorry. And I'm not talking about my parents' personal life, no. But what I'm about to say next, it is true. It is so true. So a lot of people has asked me, my parents, my grandparents at one point, both my grandmas at one point while they were here on earth, right? Sadly, they both passed away. But hear me when I say this. I am at the age of 29. And I often get told by certain people that when you joke about, oh, I don't want to have kids, that select group of people will tell me, oh, you're young. You don't know yet. You just haven't found the one yet. You're going to have a kid. You'll be a great dad. You just haven't had your mark yet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, on this podcast, I'm here to tell you that at the age of 29, I'm not young. I'm not old, but I'm not young. Next year, I will be the age of 30. Does the age of 30 kind of scare me? Kind of, because I would have lived for 3 decades. So 30, that dirty 30 is real, right? I'm excited to turn 30, but I'm a little nervous to turn 30. Right? But I thank God each and every day that I'm able to breathe air in my lungs and be alive and to see 29. And by the grace of God, I am planning on seeing the age of 30, right? Got some plans for when I turn 30. It's crazy to say that I'll be 30 next year. But I say that to say, I am not young and dumb and don't understand. What I'm about to say next, hopefully I don't piss people off. I do not want kids. I'm going to say it again. Kennedy Lucas Patterson does not want kids. I don't. I say that with stern look on my face, T, because a lot of people would tell me, "Oh, you don't know Kennedy. Oh, you're young. Oh, you haven't found Mrs. Right." I do not want kids. I told my parents that. I told my grandparents that. I told my friends that too. Here's why I don't want kids. And I'll get to this man with 10 kids. We'll get to it because that's the top story. But let me get my ish off for a second. I feel that I am not built to have kids. Kids are expensive. Kids, roughly, to have a kid, this is scientifically proven, to have kids, that costs from age infant to age 18, $300,000, right? Because you got to get formula for that infant, get formula for the toddler. You got to feed it every day, all day, 18 years and up, maybe, right? And then when they get grown, they have to figure their stuff out, right? Schools, Pampers, shoes, clothes, curriculum activities. If you got a young lady or a male too, both, we don't gentrify, cheerleading, football, basketball, whatever it is they want to do as they get a little bit older, right? It becomes more dire. For my ladies who have, for my people who have girls, right? You got to worry about periods. You got to worry about Plan B. You got to worry about all of the other things that the female anatomy needs, right? Same thing with the males, right? This stuff costs money. That's the number one thing. The reason why I say I don't want kids is because even when I go to the grocery store and it's just me by my lonesome, picking out the things I need for the grocery store, young parent with their 3 kids yelling, screaming, crying, that annoys the living fuck out of me. It does. It annoys the fuck out of me. To the point where I want to yell at the kids. Obviously, I don't because they're not my kids. But that right there, kids cutting up, yelling, crying, screaming, talking back to them, that annoys the fuck out of me. It does. That's one part. Second part is, hopefully I don't piss somebody off. I hate to cuss a lot in this show too, but I'm a cuss. I'm a greedy motherfucker. And what I say by that is, I want it all to myself. I want to be able to have a good standing job, nice car, nice house, being able to buy anything that I want and don't have to turn around and say, damn, my little son needs food. Damn, I got to go pick little Abigail up from practice. Damn, I wanted this out to eat, but no, we got to get this because my kids can only eat a Happy Meal, but I want to go to Zaxby's, right? I want it all to myself. I like to say that I'm very successful now. I won't say that I'm wealthy just yet. I'm working on it. I can't say that I'm financially free. I've said in the last episode, I'm financially laxed, but I'm not financially free yet. But when I make my millions, and I'm manifesting making millions, I want it all to myself. Besides giving it away to charity and building foundations, right? That's different. I don't want to have to take care of little Abigail and little Jimmy. Right? I just don't want to do it. I don't want the mental, physical, emotional, intellectual stresses that has with having a kid. Let me tell you, anybody that has kids will tell you that having kids is like the best thing in their life. They are dead wrong and delusional. Maybe 20 years ago, sure. But in this economy, to where I've been preaching, guys, the economy ain't going to get better. Grocery store items are still going up. Gas prices are going up. And for parents who got to figure their shit out and don't know when their next meal is coming from, right? Because government assistance are getting taken away, right? The food stamps, job careers programs to help young kids get jobs. That funding's getting cut. So young parents who have to figure all that stuff out, stressing out, stressed at work, don't like their 9 to 5, but they got to do it because little Jimmy got to eat. I don't want that life. I am not about that life, and I'm not about to be about that life. Sorry, guys. If it pissed you off and you probably clicked off this podcast, I'm sorry. But I gotta get my shit off. I got to really give you guys how I feel about this stuff. Because I tell my siblings that, I tell my parents that, and I tell them I am 29 years old. Damn it, I know what I want. What I don't want is kids. I've made that very, 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 very clear. Because I'm greedy. Because I want it to myself. I don't want to have to come home and hear babies crying. When I come home in my house, ain't no babies in my house. It's quiet as a mouse the way I like it. Right? When it's quiet in my living room, I have Grey's Anatomy. I'm watching Grey's Anatomy. I'm eating ice cream, and I'm in my peace and in my zone. Or I have my Nintendo Switch 2 plugged up, and I'm playing Donkey Kong. I want it all to myself. And if that disqualifies me for getting a girlfriend, oh well. Right? I think a lot of people who are in this young marriage and young parents who, let me tell you, and I'm not saying to everybody, and I'm very careful about the marriage topic because, I've got some friends and family members who are now married and they're young. So I don't want to harp on it too much to hurt their feelings because I care about my friends and family's feelings. But I've seen friends who are either think they're going to get engaged. They got engaged to be married. They broke it off, right? Because you're young, you don't know each other. And then you have young friends who are not careful. They have a kid and now they have to struggle with that kid, right? Nothing's going to change from that. They have to struggle with that kid, them being young, and they're trying to go through college, trying to figure their ish out. They can't find that good quality job that they deserve and want. Things are up, things are expensive, and now they're stressing, and now they're punching in that 9 to 5 job that they truly hate just to buy some Pampers for little Jimmy. That's why I say these things I say on the podcast. That's why I'm getting my ish off, is because for that reason alone, there's more reasons, but for that reason is why I don't want kids. Because like I say, hopefully I don't piss nobody off. I am not about that life. I will never be about that life. I'm not trying to be about that life. And for all of you guys who have kids and struggling, kudos to you. I pray for you. I really do. But I don't want to put myself in that situation. It is expensive to have kids. Anybody who has kids that tell you that's a glorious thing, they're dead wrong. I have quite a few friends, even a work buddy of mine. I won't put his name on the blast. He has kids, and I can see it in his eyes. He is stressed to the max, stressed as hell, tired as hell. But luckily, he has a wife and they're a partner. I love to see that, but I can tell that's not easy. Not getting in his personal business, but I can tell that's not easy to do. Because you realize when you were younger, you had it all to yourself. Life was a little bit easier. Now life is a little bit more stressful because you got more mouths to feed. So I praise this, that we played the excerpt of the video here on Top Story, that this guy had with 10 kids. Let me tell you, I'm sorry, buddy, but I'm gonna have to insult you for a minute. You got 10 kids and 7 of them are your step kids? What the hell? What the hell? What the helly? What the heliante is going on here? And I'm joking, but yeah, I can see why you get insults, buddy, because again, you got 10 kids. I pray for you, dog. I really do. I sure as hell ain't about that life. You got to be careful who you stick it into, right? You got to be careful who you stick it into. People, I don't want to say women ain't shit because men ain't shit either. People ain't shit, right? People, I will say I'm on that fence there where like I might insult you, but then I wouldn't help you out. This is your situation, right? It's your problem, your situation. You got to deal with it, right? I pray for that man that has the 10 kids that is 60 years of age, because now you got to raise all 10 of them, and you got to raise them through school, right? You better pray them kids are smart to get scholarships, because financial aid, that's going to be very, very expensive to support 10 kids in school unless you are a millionaire with 10 kids. Even that may not be enough. And then you got different mamas, right? Different baby mamas. I don't want a baby mama drama situation. I ain't about that life either. That's messy as hell. I'm sorry, guys. If you got a baby mama and you're in some dramas, in some shit, that's a lot to handle. That's too much to handle, if you ask me. But I do say that to say, I pray for that man, 60-year-old, 10 kids. That is wild, though. I mean, sex is good, but it ain't that good. I mean, it's good, but damn, like, is it worth? Well, I wonder, was it worth it for those 10 kids? Popped it up 10 times, 10 kids, 10 times, several women. Y'all got to check yourself, make sure your stuff is clean too, because that's one thing I'm afraid of. STDs, HIV, AIDS. I'm scared of all that. Gonorrhea. I'm scared of that. So you often wonder yourself that, boy howdy, like you did it 10 times. Hopefully you were clean, But I'll say this and I'll wrap up. That 60-year-old male, he said, it's insults, ridicule. I try not to ridicule. I did insult him in a funny way for the podcast, but I genuinely do feel bad for him. Like I do say, he did mention, keep your money in your pocket. That's why I don't want kids. Like I said, I'm greedy. The money I make, I want it all to myself. Besides giving it away to charity and foundations that we're planning on doing, yes, that's separate. But any extra income that I make, I want to pocket that to myself. So that way I can buy a new video game if I want. I can go out and get some things that I want. I can go to the movie theater if I want. I can go get a nice luxury dinner if I want. Because it is just me taking care of myself. Right? And I want people to understand that. I want my males to understand that. I want my females to understand that especially that we're young. And I did say that I'm not young, but I'm young because I'm 29. Young people, you don't have to get married so young. You don't have to have a kid so young because your parents told you to. If your parents are hounding you down about when they're going to have some grandbabies, you got to shoot that shit straight with them. Say, hey, I'm not built to have kids. You won't see a grandkid from me. And I often got to say, and I'm not talking to my parents in specific, but I'm talking to parents because I've got friends who have their parents harp them on when I'm going to have some grandbabies. Let me tell you, parents, something. Do not push us to have kids. Because let me tell you something. If you push your kid, I'm speaking to the parents now, if you push your kid to have a kid, knowing damn well you ain't going to help them out with them, you're going to turn around and say, son or daughter, this is your mess. I'm just a grandma. I'm retired. You got to raise your kid. Do not push your kids to have kids. We are not ready. This economy ain't like it was back in y'all's day. Sorry. Especially for the grandma. Shout out to all the grandparents out there. I wish I could still talk to both my grandparents. But our grandmas, Do not push your grandkids to have kids. In the boomer age, it was a lot easier when rent was way, way cheaper, but it is not affordable to have kids in today's society. And I guess I got to be the voice and the advocate for all the grandparents and the parents that is pushing us, the kids, to have kids so they can have some grandbabies so they can post on Facebook to say, hey, now I'm a grandma. No. You're not going to have it. Sorry. I think I got my shit off. Again, like I say, with respect, I'm not talking to my parents in particular. I'm not trying to be disrespectful for our parents, because I'm thankful for my parents. I'm thankful for my friends' parents. It's just, I've seen it where a lot of my friends, their parents are pushing them to say, hey, I'm ready for some grandbabies. No, you are not, because you're not going to help. So no, not going to have that for me. I'm afraid of that. But I got my thing off, y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoyed today's podcast, over an hour podcast. Again, we try to give y'all as much as we can when we can. Like I say, the top story. Hopefully I didn't offend many people. If I did, I'm sorry. I'm just a podcaster. I gotta talk, right? I get paid to talk and tell you my real story. But we hope that you guys enjoyed today's podcast. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new to it. And also, K.L.P Entertainment's radio station hub is now available. Again, it's klpentertainment.ismyradio.com. Again, that's klpentertainment.ismyradio.com, where we're going to be playing live music on that internet radio station. And also, this show will be featured on that site as well. So if you don't want to watch it on YouTube, you can watch it there. Or if you're listening to us on any audio platform you get your podcast from, we thank y'all so very much. Again, K.L.P Entertainment is closing down for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're going to be up north in Chicago, Illinois. Stay tuned for our DJ mix on Saturday, Sunday, and then a full live show on Monday. You guys don't want to miss it, live from Chicago. And we hope to see y'all up there, whether it's on media or up there in Chicago this coming weekend. We can't wait to be in the building. It's going to be really, really dope. That's going to wrap it up here. K.L.P Aftermath, presented by Our Heart Media. We hope that y'all like this episode. For now, we'll say so long, peace, have a great day, and stay swanky.
Go! What's going on in Hot Atlanta? Live from Swanky 93.3 and the Heat 94.6. Brings back the hottest hip-hop radio show live from K.L.P Entertainment and K.L.P Studios. Go! It's K.L.P Aftermath with your host, K.L.P Kennedy Lucas.
You know what it is? Put your hands up.
Tune in now on any audio platform.
Go.